What's happening, everybody? It's your boy Bags. It's Albie season. Just the end of August here. September will probably be just getting hotter, but this is the time to stock up on this stuff because if you need to find it when they're in here in force, it's all going to be gone. I have learned this over many years. Trying to find electric chicken epoxies first week of September doesn't exist. They're all sold out because I bought them all. If you need them, I got them. But let's just kind of like run through like a start to finish of what you would probably see in my bag if I was on the kayak or hitting it from the jetty. You know, we got a crummy day out there, but maybe you can't make it out in the boat, but a shore core is the best. So make every opportunity the most. I start off with the Alby snacks. I absolutely love the pearls. It's probably my #1 favorite. But a lot of my friends love the ambers, and then these sand deals are a new one for me at end of last season, and they definitely have their days where they just absolutely slay. I'm usually rigging these up on a #4 owner beast hook. Unweighted is kind of where I think these things kind of excel. They're pretty dense, so they sink and they cast better than you would expect for this size bait. And I think a lot of times these fish, you kind of got to give them what they want. And these things just have their days when nothing else is working. These guys slam. So always have a couple of snacks in the bag for sure. I usually have a little bit lighter tackle setup that I'm casting those guys with. Moving on, some of like the most maybe not so common or maybe not what people thinking of right away. These little Ronzis work phenomenally well when the small sand deals are around. Obviously, we got the new sand deal color here. And then this was a green metallic or olive metallic or something, whatever it is. Both phenomenal. And then an honorable mention for me is the, was it silver metallic? Is it absolute slammer? That's one of my favorite sharper ones as well. So I will definitely have a couple of those for those clutch situations where you got little sand deals around. And maybe I'll even trim them down to get a little bit smaller profile out of those, believe it or not. For leader material, I'm pretty much exclusively running the Seaguard Gold label. It's just their smallest diameter. So not only is it a little bit more stealthy for the Albies, it also makes a really small knot. Most of my leaders are at least in the 6 to maybe 7 foot range. So I'm usually bringing them in through the guides. And some of these rods have really small micro guides. So if you can keep the knot and the junction a little bit smaller, it'll cast through the guides a little bit easier. Especially when you're burning these things in, a lot of times you take that leader knot in, even when you're not expecting it, and just not having a tangled mess or having it snap off. It's kind of nice. I toggle between 15, usually on my soft plastic, a little bit lighter setup, and then 20 pound, just so I feel like I can put a little bit more beans to the fish on my heavier setup. Before the snacks, I was always a big fan of these Bill Hurley mini squids. They have a weighted shank on the hook. These cast really good. They do sink a little bit quicker, so when you want that like top water slow presentation, the snack kind of excels. But these cast great and hold a little bit snootier water a little bit better. In recent years, he's come out with these, which is basically a mini squid. And these have the weighted hook inside of them as well. It's a pretty darn big size weight for this size lure. So I think that people would be very surprised at how well these cast with appropriate gear for this size of lure. Some of the new epoxies that I've been running, I love these Ronzis. These have kind of got the bigger kind of trapezoidal bottom, so they skip really easy. So when they want that skippy retrieve, these things work really well. I'm pretty impressed with the hook on it. The hardware is really nice. These, they have this soft feel resin. So like, I'm not saying it's soft, but it's a little squishy to the touch. You could leave like a fingernail print in it. And what I have noticed in the last couple of days, because I've been hitting it from shore on the crummier weather, these things hold up to the rocks really well. So I clanked a couple of different of these models just this morning against the jetty. Actually, the silver side one I got on my rod right here. And they hold up really well. So I think that some of the other epoxies maybe have a little bit harder finish, and they tend to crack when you smack them against the rocks really good. I will still fish them, but they definitely crack. And it seems like these, I'm pretty impressed just in the couple days that I've been fishing them, how well they hold up. This thing definitely met the rocks probably half a dozen times this morning, and at a pretty good pace. and it held up really, really well. So I'm super impressed with those for the time being. Outside of the fish snacks, soft plastic stuff, they do the hard snacks, which is the kind of epoxy option here. The electric chicken, as people call it, is a phenomenal color for the funny fish. You get like more of like a green sand eel, and then the olive, they do a peanut, which is a ½ ounce and a little bit smaller size, and then they do a ½ ounce of the hard snacks as well. These things are going to cast the best. They got the single hook on it for catch and release. Makes it really easy and nice to the fish because these things tend to not survive great outside of water. Moving on to the actual tackle that I'm using. I spend a lot of time in the kayak. I like to keep it on a budget. So just because Phil hooks us up doesn't mean we need to take full advantage of it all the time. And I live within a budget. These Fenwick HMG inshores, I think these are like 100, 120 bucks. So not buku bucks. This is a 7.6 medium rod. A lot of fun. I use this for schoolies and just all around fishing in the fall. I like that it's got the locking lock nut. So it keeps the reel pretty secure and nice slim reel see-through here. And Fenwick's got a great warranty, so I like those guys. I'm a sucker for a cork grip. Everybody knows I'm a sucker for cork grip, so it basically wins me over there. As far as the reel, this thing has definitely seen it, but it has slammed a lot of fish for me. I absolutely love these things. We affectionately call them the Nasty Nasty. It's a 3K. I use this for my bass fishing in the off season. We just spooled this up with 15-pound Super Slick in the blue this morning. Backing for suckers. As far as when Albies come into play for a 3000, I cramped on 212 yards of Super Slick on there. So it's on tight, but we got a lot of it. And then for my little bit bigger setup, this I usually have like a 7/8 or a 1 ounce epoxy or a little bit longer cast metal or something like that. This is Daiwa Procyon 7.6 medium heavy. It's a nice fast action rod, again with the cork grip. I think this is 90 bucks sticker. I got one last year for the budget. Fell in love with them. It's a nice fast action rod, light tackle. Love it for schoolies. Medium-sized blues in the spring, and then obviously its main purpose is the Alby is this time of year. We got that matched up with a 4000 sustain. Love this. This has got 15-pound on it. This we got a 4000 size reel, so I put 20-pound. I can put a little bit more beans to the fish, and I had a couple of them break off at the kayak last year, so I usually was 15 for everything. I stepped it up to 20 just to have a little bit more insurance policy, and then to have this double duty a little bit better if I get some nice size stripers in the fall here. That's my basic get down and what I hit the jetty with. I walked out with both of them. I had the Fenwick hooked up with a Albie snack this morning, just because these fish, you don't have a lot of time with them, and you better be prepared. So I will kind of have an epoxy on this, have a soft plastic on that, or vice versa. I had the little tiny, if they get super finicky, I'll do a loop knot, but I have the little tiny 25-pound, yeah, they're very small, tactical angler clips on there, just to be able to change up the color and the size through the day. If I get them busted and they're just not taken, got to experiment like on the fly really quick. So if I get to a point where I need to retie, then I can just clip this off and tie a loop knot if they get real finicky. But I think that the benefits far outweigh the drawbacks with the tiny clip. I think it's a good compromise. And I have been crazy enough to spray paint them black just so they don't shine. But I'm a madman. What are you going to do? So I wish you all the best of luck. I know the season's only starting to pick up here, and the whole month of September is just going to get red hot. Tight lines, and if you have any questions, come in the shop, shoot us up, or hit Jacob online or in the comments or whatever, and I will talk Albie so the cows come home till November. So have a great day, guys. Tight lines. Good. Boop-a-boop. Hey now.